It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Oh, the heat is on. It's on me. Here by Sheriff Richard Mack here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona, IA, on the radio here on LRN.FM and around the country. You know, I'll go ahead and let you repeat your question to me so we can get it clear. So I can, I had a whole 3 minutes to write them down, man. I'm all ready for you. Go.
Okay. When government becomes venal and oppressive, to whom can the people, especially the little guy, turn to for peace, safety, protection, and freedom? To have somebody on his side, where can he turn? Is there something in the Constitution that allows for a check and balance when that happens? Or is there a mechanism at all in government at any level that provides for that remedy?
Okay.
Have at it.
All right, this is my question. Is it a requirement that there has to be someone?
It would be nice. I don't know if it's...
See, but your question presupposes that I have to have some entity for me to turn to. It's you already enslaved me.
No.
I haven't even had a chance to, just vote none and just leave or do anything. I have to have some entity.
I'm just saying, when government becomes oppressive, when you are being attacked, when your home is being confiscated by the IRS, do you want somebody there to help you or not?
Well, I want to have the option to have none, and certainly advocate for it. Now, let me go ahead and explain, and you'll understand my point. Okay. Now, there is, the question is, when the little guy is oppressed by the collective, somebody out there or whatever threat, who do they turn to? Well, in the past, it was always, say you're out in the lone prairie on the Wild West. Well, it wasn't as wild as they would make out, but you have the shopkeeper, and here comes the ranch hands. They're in and whooping it up, and the gunslingers, and they go, you know what? We're better off if we have we privately fund a sheriff. We get Sheriff Mack come in here and take care of business. Well, that works out pretty well and goes, and they're going, we're tired of paying for this, and everybody else gets the benefit of it. Everybody else should have to, pay for it a little bit too, and we'll tax them or fees or whatever, and then all of a sudden now you got a government, all right? Well, then it's always to the benefit of, certain people, how this government protects against these bad guys, to the point that then the sheriff and the government itself becomes the oppressor. Well, then you got to have somebody else to turn to. Now who do we turn to? It just kind of feeds on itself. And what I'm advocating is that I don't have to advocate for another entity, and that's why, the libertarian philosophy is so unique in that it says the prime directive is, I do not advocate. Didn't say you got to do it or not do it. That's not even the point. I do not advocate for initiation of force or fraud for political, social, or economic gain. I do not advocate. So I'm never going to advocate for there to be another entity to go after that entity. I'm not going to advocate for that. Now, if I use it or I voluntarily combine my efforts with someone else and do that, fine. But libertarianism is about a means to an end to deserve the freedom that you seek. It is you do not use initiation of force or fraud. I do not advocate initiation of force or fraud. So if I don't advocate that...
But you and I both know that we have a mafia government going on. Okay, so what do we do about it?
That's the point I'm getting to, Richard. I do not advocate for initiation of force or fraud. Now, the goal that you get, and you say, well, how are you going to get your freedom? How are you going to impose freedom? How are you going to, get a barrel of a gun and give somebody freedom or something? You're not. The goal, individuals make up their own goals. That's what freedom is. I don't care what you do with your freedom. That's what freedom is. Go be free and stupid and do whatever the heck you want. I don't care. I am not advocating for what people do with their freedom. It is the method by which they would be able to be free. So there's a difference there.
But you got to come back to the real world. We don't live in a free world. We do not live in a free society. We do not live in a free country. And my question is, do we have any kind of remedy for that problem?
Rebellion, revolution, Resistance
Okay.
is
and both of
always an individual decision, not a collective one. If
Okay.
you have somebody, you remember in the 90s, all these, field marshal, general, major militia guys going, and my people, and we're once more into the breach kind of thing. And they're sitting there going, my guys, and we're going, and here we go, and let's go, kill, or whatever the heck they wanted to do. And I'm going, that's not how it's going to be. It's going to be individuals making individual decisions individually.
Okay, that's fine. We don't live in that world. You're talking about the libertarian utopia and wonderful place. We don't live in that. So now tell me second best alternative.
That's
for what
the
we're talking
only
about.
way it is. It always is an individual making an individual decision for whatever. And this is the problem that I have with a lot of these efforts. And we've gone through these cycles, and you and I both have. And I'm telling you, it always comes down to there is some group collective that is saying, get on the list. We're going to go together. There's strength in numbers, and we're going to go demand, require, request, file suit, march on, do whatever it is in the name of this group. And then the other issues start getting overlapped. And not that one. Your guys talking about drugs.
No,
we need more guns and machine. We more of this and less of that. It's just a collective. And if you do it,
wait. So in all of your wonderful utopian society, no force in anything. So when the IRS comes in to steal your home tomorrow, you don't want the county sheriff to stop them. You don't want the county sheriff to say, in the name of freedom and in the name of America, you will not do that here again, or I will come after you.
I want this one thing, the ability to be able to advocate for a system that would never have a sheriff, an IRS, a government that was in the capacity to be able to take it in the first place. And once you start down that road, that's exactly who's going to pay for the sheriff. How are you going to collect the funds? How are you going to, you see my point? It's always, you're creating the very system.
Ernie. I get that. And everybody on your show here listening today would love to live in that society. But right now, we have a bunch of thieves and corrupt officials that need to be stopped. And
they're never going to be stopped by us begging for them just another level. We're begging for it again.
Okay, but I'm not saying to beg anything. I'm saying that we got together and we said, okay, we're going to live in this. We're going to live in Safford, Arizona. We're going to live here, and we're going to respect each other's freedom, and we're not going to do anything. And then here comes this governmental entity from Washington, D.C., and so we say, okay, collectively, we're hiring this sheriff, and he's going to stand up for our rights. And he's going to nullify when the government goes too far, and he's going to stand in the way for us and for freedom and for America, and so we don't have to grab our guns every time something happens. And not only that, but it can happen for the one individual.
Okay, when we come back,
one little guy.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to talk about that very thing because, it's always, do I have to advocate for hiring this one sheriff? It's a government thing. We took money from people to pay for it, or if I can just hire a hitman, or I just be my own hitman. I mean, think about it. How much collectivism do I have to oppose collectivism? Will it ever happen that way? Because we're already living in anarchy. We'll be right back.
Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.